I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do.
Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Saturday, May the 27th races at Hastings Racecourse. The weather has certainly changed. We have 7 races on tap, and the weather looks absolutely splendid for the weekend. It's going to be warm and shorts and t-shirt.
A lot like last weekend. Was a very successful weekend last week. Of course, we raced Saturday, which was Preakness Day.
Yeah, no Triple Crown.
No Triple Crown this year. As always, Dreamin' Faded ran about 7th or so.
Yeah.
Cloud Computing, of course, won the Preakness, and then we didn't race on Sunday. We raced on Monday. 2 good stakes that day. Of course, congratulations to Dazzle and Dawn, the aptly named Dazzle and Dawn.
JDP Holdings, Delton Stable, and Nancy Betts.
Another dazzling performance by her.
Yeah,
wow,
huge.
Is she impressive.
Won by 6 3/4, geared down, 117 and change.
How good is she? She is
very
on her
nice
game
filly.
right now. And the 3-year-old boys was won by
Peter Redicop's AP Zona.
AP Zona. Nice claim by Eddie Truman on his behalf down in California, and looked like he was worth the money as he absolutely romped here.
Yeah, he did.
Winning by about 5 or 6.
2 impressive performances.
Yes.
Pretty easy wins for both AP Zona as he stamps himself a potential Derby contender down the road.
Of course, it looks like he should go long, too, in a creative cause.
And Dazzle and Dawn, of course, leading the pack with the Oaks contenders. But 2 very impressive performances from stakes races last weekend, including, of course, the Preakness, but no Triple Crown winner, but a great race down to the wire.
It was a great race,
Cloud
Classic
Computing,
Empire.
just defeating a very unlucky Classic Empire. But it wasn't the Derby winner's day that day. Unfortunately, Always Dream and finished well back. But let's get into the Saturday card.
No stakes on Saturday, but
we have some hard-trying individuals.
Very competitive races.
The meat and potatoes of the backstretch. Not always stakes races, and a lot of these horses have to carry the meat throughout a lot of the year. The opener is actually the feature race. It is a $16,000 event for 3-year-olds going 6.5 furlongs. I really like the One-Horse Hunter's Appeal. I thought this horse ran really well against older horses last time. That was a 3-and-up, non-2, non-3. Kind of didn't get away well. Was in a little bit of trouble, but still ran a big race, I thought. And ran on well. Just like there's going to be some speed in here. It looks like the 3 Extreme Spell and perhaps the 4 Silent Eagle are going to go. Might get a nice trip just in behind those leaders. So I'm going to go Hunter's Appeal to win it. All under control. I think Mike Anderson's got the exactor here. Put him in the 2nd spot, and put the 2-horse off the grid. His brother Robbie in for 3rd. I'm going to go 1, 5, and 2.
I agree with Hunter's Appeal. I mean, as you mentioned, this horse ran against some tough horses like Omega Victory, Mighty Mesa. Omega Victory, of course, came back to win again at the $16,000 level. Hunter's Appeal has to be live here with jockey Enrique Gonzalez aboard. I put Extreme Spell. I don't mind the Greg Tracy horse. Seemed to have some trouble early on in his career. His first start, which you can forgive, he ran 5th, came back and had a very troubled trip in his next one, was actually pulled up. But then made no mistake in his last start, which was last August. He went to the sidelines early as a 2-year-old, but he won by 10. And Greg Tracy's been absolutely on fire today, so I'm going to give Extreme Spell a shot in here. Doesn't get crazy with him. Nope. It's a good spot for him, 16,000. And Richard Hamill accepts the call. And I put All Under Control. Mike Anderson's other horse, another one that is eligible to win this under.
Blinkers off today too. Been going in blinkers on last time. Blinkers off.
Take them off today and
coming off.
Under the red hot David Lopez.
Riding great.
1-3-5 for me in the first. On to the second. $4,000 non-2 event for 3-and-up Colts and Geldings. Going 6.5 furlongs. Field of 7 in here. I went to a bit of a shot horse here. He's making his first start. That's the one Groot. He started out much higher beginning of last year, running a maiden special weights. When he worked his way down to the $4,000 level, he was extremely competitive. Finally broke his maiden by about 5. Right before the meet ended, he went up to an 8 non-3. A much tougher race. Ran to the tough horses like Tucci, Wee Harry. Now back in, starts out at 4,000, and just the way that Nancy's horses have come out this year, she has to be respected. I like Groot on top of Blue Storm Cloud, a horse that figures to be tough in here. It just comes out of a very tough Cowboy Phil cross the line race. We will see cross the line later on this weekend. Now into a 4 non-2. That was an 8 non-3. Now into a 4 non-2. He's found a spot, and Enrique Gonzalez takes over the reins for Deidre Bell. He's probably going to be your tough horse in here. And I threw Cruise Dancer in the 3rd spot for Tony Gedak. Good third, his first effort behind Cowboy Phil. Came back with a little flat in the second one. I'm hoping he rebounds off of that one for trainer Tony Gedak. 1-2-7 for me.
Yeah, I like the 2-horse here, Blue Storm Cloud. I kind of liked him a little bit last time in the Cowboy Phil race. The horse did not disappoint me. Ran a good race. Had a lot of trouble first time out. This is a big class change for
Yeah.
him. I mean, this is a lot easier company for Blue Storm Cloud. Not crazy about seeing blinkers on. I just want the horse to show up like he did in his first 2 starts.
Yeah.
I think that wins the race. I don't think he needs to get any better than he has been in his last 2 to win. But the blinkers go on. Enrique Gonzalez is an important change. Mirko Sana gone away for a couple weeks. Went to Miami, I believe. Has some family down there. But Mirko Sana away.
Lucky boy.
From had to fly. Flew down on I think Thursday or actually today as of taping. But Blue Storm Cloud I think pretty live. But the 4-horse Sunny's in command. Nice win.
Yeah.
First time out. Seemed to do the job nicely. Might get a trip just in behind the leaders. I think he's pretty live for trainer John Snow. And I put the 6-horse Atala the One. Just works. I didn't know who to put in for third. I was reading Groot or Atala the One.
That's a good
Neither
work
one
with
want to
last
really. Groot really doesn't want to sprint. That's my only problem with him. But Atala the One, at least the works have been very sizzling in the mornings. Skylar Waitshield riding better, or really good actually. And Patty Leaney is the trainer. I went 2, 4, and 6 for in race number 2. On to the third race. $4,000 filly mare maidens, 6.5 furlongs will be the trip. The 2-horse, That's It for Anita Bolton, taking a pretty significant drop in class. Shows speed. Looks like the inside speed in this race. I think this horse will be pretty dangerous with Enrique Gonzalez. Put the 4-horse, Proudly Noticed, who was scratched out of a race a couple of weeks back. Was flipped in the gate, but obviously came back okay.
Yeah.
Has since worked, and just for whatever reason, the filly got unnerved that day. She just was not happy at all. Hopefully she's a little better today. And I put the 1-horse Cash Spiel, who's always there or thereabouts, always on the board. Bunch of runner-up efforts, bunch of thirds. We'll break through the win soon. I think 2, 4, 1 of your horses here in race 3.
I don't have a lot to add. I got same horses, same order. That's It was very well backed, highly thought of in that 16. And Anita Bolton doesn't mess around, right in for 4,000, has to be respected. Proudly Noticed, as you mentioned, very live in here, as is Cash Spiel. She's knocking on the door. She's going to get there one day. The other one, maybe to throw in, would be Alder Glory, a good third at the $8,000 level behind Why Is It My Fault, and such a bargain, who came back with a good second at this level. So 2, 4, 1 for me, honorable mention. 2, 4, 1, honorable mention to the 3 in the third. On to the 4th race. Fillies and Mares, 4, non-2. I went to the 5 here, Miss Mariah. Owned by the Nat. Glenn Todd now down as trainer. Interesting fact that Glenn Todd has been off the trainer standings for 32 years. Last time,
32? Yeah, I knew it was like the mid 80s.
Yeah, last time he ran a horse was June 19th, 1985. That was third Willow, who ran second. Last time he won a race was almost 30.
Where'd you get all that? Where'd you get that data?
I went to Equibase. I looked at the Bible.
They had Equibase back then?
Yes, apparently. I looked, last time he won a race was almost 32 years ago to the day, June 7th, 1985, third Willow, Broken Maiden. So that's the last win with Glenn Todd as trainer. He is down as trainer again, and I think he gets the winner's circle.
What if you had to write a test? Retest. It's like drivers, when they hit 80, they got to retest.
He's not 80.
I know. I'm saying like drivers.
Show.
I know.
Welcome to our
the
last show at the Derby Bar and Grill here. Our swan song. Almost 32 years ago to the day.
Yeah, that's cool.
Last Willow won, and I think he gets in the winner's circle here with Miss Mariah. David Lopez, we mentioned, riding red hot. He liked this filly last year. He was running her in maiden specialweights, maiden 35s, and she was running okay. Ran against Dazzling Dawn, for God's sakes. Yeah. Started out this year for 4,000. Absolutely dusted the field, won by over 3. Comes right back to the $4,000 level, has to be respected here. Miss Mariah, I love. I put the Cluche horse, Bonnie Christine. Yep. She was another one that was tough last year. Good third in her first run maiden specialweight, second in maiden specialweight. Finally broke her maiden for 16. Mark starts her out this year at the $4,000 level. She has to be respected. And after that, I looked for a third horse. I threw in Knock Knock for Twink Baumgartner. A filly that's tough at this level. Been working well. Nice minute work coming into this under Jeff Birmingham, who knows her well. 5, 1, and 6 for me.
Yeah, I agree. The Glenn Todd runner here is definitely live. I mean, she pretty easy win last time. Doesn't really face an overly tough assignment here. This race didn't get a whole lot tougher in an on-2. I know Glenn's been in the winner's circle a lot in the past
yeah, it wasn't like that's the last
like
race he won was back in June 2nd. He's won a lot of races since then.
He's visited the winner's circle an awful lot. And Miss Mariah, I think he'll get back into the winner's circle, but first one, as you mentioned, in 32 years as an official trainer. I put the Knock Knock in for second, and I put Sweet Home in for third. I thought it was a pretty good race behind Zygo. And I just looked at a lot of I'm not a big stats guy, not a big days off, 180 days.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's like a bunch of horses in here that are 180 days plus that are off. And there's
Sweet
5
Home's
of them.
run
Actually,
twice.
5 of the 7 are off 180 days or
Yeah.
more. Sweet Home has been off 7 days, and Nancy's 2 for 6 coming back in 7 days, and it's worked for her. So
And as
this
we've
horse is
seen,
coming back in a week.
we've seen earlier on this meet, horses that have run or been running are extremely dangerous. So yeah,
So I just that little tidbit,
that makes
little
sense.
nugget, just
Yep.
because it's 2 for 6 coming back in 7 days, and this filly is coming back in 7
she
days.
runs them back
Throw her in
already.
the mix.
Yeah.
5, 6, 4 for me, but Miss Mariah definitely the best in race number 4. On to the 5th race, maiden $4,000 fillies and mares, the other half of the split. This race was split. I ended up on the 7-horse Flaming Youth. I thought a pretty good runner-up effort to Miss Mariah last time,
Yep.
who we like in the non-2. So I just think this horse will get a
see
good.
how you get a nice gauge right there. You can
Advanced,
see the race before how Miss Mariah won.
Miss
She
Mariah
dusts them
wins by a
again.
pile, and then Flaming Youth
is even liver.
was really encouraged.
Yeah.
Makes her race even more substantial. But I thought it was a good race because she raced 3 and 4 wide a lot of the trips. She did not get a good trip, Flaming Youth. She battled on well to defeat the Clays for the runner-up spot, and as I mentioned, just the trip was not good. I think she's the horse to beat. Well, the horse to beat, Miss Napoli.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, this horse has
I
speed.
think it's those
been
two.
off 2 years. Ran a good runner-up effort in her comebacker. And I went 7-1. It could easily be 1-7. And I put the 8-horse, sorry, Mystic Belief on the class drop. Good works for Pat Jarvis. Actually, unleashing quite a few first-time starters this week, Pat, and they're all been working quite nicely. So give Mystic Belief a look as well. I went 7-1 and 8.
Well, it's 7-1, 1-7. I put it the other way. I went 1-7 just because Napoli's been off for 2 years. It was a very good effort, just getting caught by Rose. She's like, came up a little short, but she figured to. She hadn't run in 2 years. Yep. I think she comes back and fires a nice one under Amadeo Perez, Flaming You second. And then I looked around. I went for kind of a long shot here. Cherry's Miss for Hall of Fame trainer Harold Barabee. Ran an okay 5th, right? There was 7 horses. She beat a couple in that same Rosie's Up, Miss Napoli, Cash Spiel race. Yeah. But it's come back with 2 nice works since then. 49-1 and 49-2 most recently on the 24th of May. That could put her a little bit forward. She's got a race under her belt. Maybe she hits the board. I put her for a long shot in to round out my try. 1-7 and 4 for me in the 5th. On to the 6th, 8, non-3 for Colts and Geldings, going 6.5 furlongs, field of 7. You can make a case for a few horses.
It's a nice field.
Yeah, I had a tough time. I went with Cross the Line. I thought a great second behind Cowboy Phil. Cowboy Phil got out there with comfortable fractions, and this guy did everything he could to run him down, give him everything he could handle. Cowboy Phil was a low price that day. Actually, this guy went off as favorite and couldn't quite get there, right. But Cowboy Phil was highly thought of. A lot of us picked Cowboy Phil that day. Cross the Line, David Lopez, Red Hot sticks with Rob Maben. Got Cross the Line on top. I put Rock Concert in the second spot. There's some speed in here. But he went 22 and 3, 45 and 2 with Omega Victory, and that was his first race of the year. It was Omega Victory second, and he faded. Still only got beat 4.5. Takes a drop now to the lowest price of his career. I'm going to give him another shot. Jon Snow's heating up a little bit. Got Rock Concert in the second spot, and I put Stormy Teen, who I like in here. But breaking from the rail, he's going to get all the pressure. That's what I worry about with Stormy Teen and Richard Hemmel, Mike Aronson in the third spot. 3-6-1.
Yeah, I agree with the 3 Cross the Line, but it is a tough race. I liked Cross the Line last time. Just got outgained by Cowboy Phil. Paciner, who didn't really favor Cross the Line. Definitely helped Cowboy Phil, who was on the lead. But Cross the Line ran a good race. I put the 7-horse Peace Arch in the mix.
That's the one I left out. I
left out
I
Rock
see.
Concert, which I think is a mistake. I
couldn't decide. It's those 4. Right?
Yeah,
I couldn't decide who to throw out. I ended up throwing out Peace Arch just because he hasn't run, but Rob Gilker's proven his horses are ready to roll this year.
Yeah, the horses look good this spring, and Romario Saunders has been aboard for a lot of those workouts, so it's not surprising to see him in the irons on Peace Arch. And this horse, was obviously knocking at the door quite often at this same level, and should be pretty alive in here. And I put the 1 Stormy Teen in for third. Was really never tested in that race, and might be ready for this little slight hike in class. Yeah. I know it was an on 2-4. It was protected though, and steps up to the 8 on 3. But Rock Concert, definitely need that horse in there too. But I didn't pick him top 3. But
that's what
you're right. Tough race.
There was 4, and I threw out Peace Arch. You threw out Rock Concert. It was tough to decide.
On the 7th race, $4,000 non-winners of 3 fillies and mares. Non-winners of 3 lifetime, going 6.5 furlongs. I ended up on the 3-horse Arbanita Rose. I didn't see any speed in this race. I think this filly can get the lead. She ran a good third to next to Touch of Green, who looked pretty good beating her that day. Yeah. And I just think this horse is going to get the lead. Final time was very good. Come back with a decent work. Obviously, signaling the horse come out of the race well. You like to see those little positive things, in Arbenita Rose's corner. I put the 4-horse We're Good as Gold in for second. A little wide out last time. I just didn't think the horse had the best of trips. Enrique Gonzalez to stick with the horse, which is encouraging. And I put the 2-horse Jazz to. I don't know what's happened to this horse's speed, but he just isn't as fast as he once was. But I think he'll get a good trip. Once again, there's not a lot of speed in here. I just didn't want to take Go-Go Eileen, route horse, Storm Cruiser, route horse. They're both deep closers. Chestnut Gold might run better. That's a horse I did leave out that could improve. Eau Claire de Lune, deep closer. I just think the pace will be quite slow. So I just wanted someone, any of these horses that are close to the pace. Yeah. I went 3, 4, 2.
I agree. I got Arbenita Rose on top, the reasons you mentioned. Looks like she'll get the speed, a great effort behind Touchscreen. Next up, winner Zygo. I think it's her graduation day today in the non-3 level. We're as good as gold. I agree with you. Put in the second spot for Hall of Fame trainer Frank Barabee. Same reasons, just behind Arbenita Rose last time, and Enrique Gonzalez sticks with. I like that angle.
Just didn't get the greatest of trips, but didn't get a ton of trouble, but just didn't get a great trip, and that's all it takes.
Could be better, horses, exactly.
If they get impeded or slightly impeded or intimidated, they're not going to run well, and that's if they get a good trip today, then things flip-flop, things can change.
So those are the 2 I like. Yeah. And I threw in Go-Go Eileen, the Rob Maven horse, in for third. Yeah. For the fact she had a decent year last year.
Really good towards the end.
What was it, 4 for 9 in the money. And she fired really good first out against the boys. Her first start last year, she ran against the boys in maiden 4, only got beat 2 3/4, ran a good third. So I'm hoping she can show that effort. If she shows that effort again today, I think she can hit the board. I went 3, 4, 7.
She'll only need to run in 120 or 119 and change.
You're not going to have to break a world record here. We'll do it for our analysis of the card. Up next on Scribbly Picks, Mike, as always, you're up first.
In race number 1, here we go. I went to the 1 horse, Hunter's Appeal, 1, 5, and 2. Race number 2, I went to the 2, Blue Storm Cloud, 2, 4, and 6. Race number 3, I went to the 2, That's It, 2, 4, and 1. Race number 4, I went to the 5, Miss Mariah for returning trainer Glenn Todd, 5, 6, and 4 in the 4th. On to the 5th race, I went to the 7, Flaming Youth, 7, 1, and 8. Race number 6, the 3, Cross the Line over the 7, Peace Arch. Good race, though. 3, 7, 1 for me in the 6th. And the 7th and final, I went to the 3, Arbenita Rose. 3, 4, and 2 on to Drew.
There we are, back in the first. I agree with Mike. Number 1, Hunter's Appeal over the 3 and the 5. The second, I went to the 1 again, Groot over the 2 and the 7. In the third, I'm with Mike again on number 2, That's It over the 4 and the 1. In the fourth, number 5, Miss Mariah, the return of Glenn Todd over the 1, Bonnie Christine, and the 6, Knock Knock. In the fifth, number 1, Miss Napoli over the 7 and the 4. In the 6th, number 3, Cross the Line over the 6 and the 1. And in the nightcap, got a lot of the same picks as Mike here. Number 3, Arbenita Rose over the 4 and the 7.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in to Handicapper's Corner. Hopefully you've enjoyed the show. Hopefully got a lot of good insight into the Saturday afternoon program. Once again, first race does go at 150 as per usual. There's the See This Guy Pick 6 carryover, a little over 1,000. It's getting there. It's getting, it could be 2 or 3,000 to the winner if you are fortunate enough to pick all 6
Paid
winners.
5 out of 6 on Monday,
Yep, and our next live card will be Sunday, of course, 150 post, Sunday, May the 28th. We do have 8 races on tap for the Sunday program. Well, thanks for tuning in again. We appreciate it. On behalf of Drew, we'll see you next time here at the Derby Bar and Grill with Handicapper's Corner.